Today is the final day of Chapter 1. Tomorrow will be your test. So this is your last chance to review, and I would highly suggest that you watch this video in its entirety, as you should be all of your instructional videos, so that you can get the most out of this review and make sure that you are fully prepared for your test. I will be moving kind of fast, so because I have a lot to get through, I'm going to go through every single lesson that we've done this chapter to make sure that everyone gets enough review for all the topics that we covered. So make sure that you have your notes next to you so that you can reference them if needed. I would even have a separate device or another tab pulled up with this video so that you can look at your own worksheets while I go through the ones that were assigned to you, so that you can compare what you did versus what I'm doing, and it'll kind of show you maybe if you got something wrong, why you got it wrong, and how to fix it. Hopefully this will clarify a lot of things for you guys. And as always, let us know if you have any questions on any of these concepts before tomorrow. We're not going to be answering any questions on test day for math. So let's go ahead and start with Chapter 1, Lesson 1. So this should look familiar. You should have completed this. And Lesson 1 was all about place value, okay? Figuring out which digit is in which place and how much is it worth, okay? So we're identifying the place of a digit as well as the value, what it's worth. The 3 is highlighted in this one, okay? And the 3, if I go and I count each one, it's ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s. So I would move this circle over to the 10,000 spot. Okay, next up, the 4 is highlighted, so I have my ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s. So I would circle the 100,000s, and I can stretch this if needed. Okay, let's go over those two in terms of value. If the 3 is in the 10,000 spot, that means that it is worth more than just 3, okay? If you were to give me 3 10,000s, that would be 30,000. What about the next one? The 4 is in the 100,000 spot, as we just determined. The 4 is not just worth 4, okay? If the 4 is sitting way over in this place value spot and you just hand me $4, I'm going to be pretty ticked, because this 4 means that it's 400,000, okay? Wherever the digit is, we're replacing all the other digits after it with zeros. It's kind of like rounding in a way, but we're not including anything prior to, because we're only focusing on one digit versus the whole number. So there's a couple examples of that. Let's look at the next page. In this problem, I need to figure out where my digits go based on their place. So the 1 should go in the hundreds place. Now this isn't mentioning 100,000s or 100 millions, it just says hundreds. So that always will go in the ones period. The 8 should go in the tens place. Again, it did not say 10,000s or 10 millions, just tens. So that is also going in the ones period. There's a 4 in the ones place. The only place called a ones place is this. I know these are labeled as ones, but this would be a thousands place and this would be a millions place. We're just talking about the ones place. So the 4 would go here. The 3 should go in the thousands place. I just said that's right after your comma. You guys know that. The 7 goes in the millions place. The millions is right after the second comma. 5 goes in the 10,000s place. Here's the thousands period, and here's the tens. There goes my 5. And the 2 would go in the 100,000s place. At this point, it would not make sense to put my 2 here or here, because for 1, it's mentioning thousands, and for 2, it would make sense to fill in the empty spot in my number. So my final answer is 7,253,184. That's lesson 1. Let's move on to lesson 2. In lesson 2, we learn different forms of numbers and how to write numbers in different ways. We also learned what the word period meant. So standard form, word form, and expanded form are all the different ways that we can write numbers. Standard form is the normal way. Word form is writing a number with words. And expanded form is expanding out a number based on its place value. So let's go ahead and skip to this one because it's in word form so that we can write it in both standard form and expanded form. 37,809 written as a normal number would be 37, my comma says 1,809. In expanded form, I would take each digit and put zeros behind it to fill in all the places to the right. So the 3 has 1, 2, 3, 4 spots after it. Make sure you include commas. And we're adding all of these together so that we can show that whenever we split up the place values, each digit in its place value will add up to equal this number as a whole. The 7 is in the thousand spot, so I would write 7,000 plus the 8 is in the hundred spot, which is worth 800, plus there's nothing in the 10 spot, so I may skip it. The 9 is in the 1 spot, and it is just worth 9. So 30,000 plus 7,000 plus 800 plus 9 is equal to 37,809. So there is an example for lesson 2. Let's move on to lesson 3. Lesson 3 was all about comparing numbers. Which number is bigger? Which number is smaller? How can we tell? So let's look at an example. I'm going to switch over to a pen. Hopefully we can see that. And I'm going to look at the digit that's in the biggest place value first. And those are both 7s. If the number is the same, I don't have to look at it. So I'm going to cross it out. Let's look at the next digit and compare it. I'm going to compare a 5 to a 1. Well, 5 is bigger than 1. So that means this whole number is bigger than this number. So I would choose this one. Whoop, I'm on the, yay, we're right. I'm on the teacher version of this, so it looks a little bit different. Okay, let's look at another example. What if I had this one? 8,080 compared to 8,880. Just reading that number, I can already tell which one is bigger, but in case you can't, let's go back to our strategy. We're going to compare the greatest place value first. They are both 8s, so I can cross out and move to the next place value. Now I have a 0 and an 8. 8 is obviously bigger than 0, so I would choose this one, saying that 8,080 is less than 8,880. That's a lot of 8s. Okay, moving on. Well, what happens if all of my digits are the same as in here? 7, 2, 7, 2, 7, 7, 7, 7, 0, 0. That means that these numbers are the same, which means they are equal. That one should be super easy for you. A number on the left on a number line is equal to, is greater than, or is less than a number to its right. So if I have a number line, this way is left, this way is right, and let's say I have the number 5 here. Okay, what's a number that would go on this side? Well, maybe I could say 10. And it looks like I'm counting by 5. So if I go back 5 this direction, I would end up at 0. Now I have a mini number line to work with. So it's saying a number on the left. Let's choose this one. Would it be equal to, greater than, or less than a number to the right? Let's say this one. So is 0 less than, greater than, or equal to 5? It's obviously less than, so I would choose this one. It's always a really good strategy, and this is something we learned in lesson 6 for word problems, to draw out a picture to represent what the word problem is saying so we can visualize it. Okay, let's move on to lesson 4. In lesson 4, we not only compared numbers, but we placed them in order from least to greatest and greatest to least. The way that we do that is by kind of stacking the numbers and using our comparison of being able to compare each place value in order to figure out which one is bigger and which one is smaller. So if I line all of these up to the best of my abilities with what technology will give me, there we go, that's better. Okay, so all of my place values are lined up. I'm going to start at the greatest place value, which in this case, this number, this third number right here, has an extra place value compared to all of the other ones. And the directions up here, though they're a little bit covered up, said I'm ordering from least to greatest. This number right here would be the greatest because it's the only one with 100,000 spot. Now I can move this up and compare the rest. Now I have 5, 5, and 6. Well, 6 is bigger than 5. So that would be the next biggest. Next, I have 5 and 5, 2 and 0. 2 is bigger than 0. So this would be my order. That is pretty much it for lesson 5. I guess I can go over this real quick, which is an example of how to fully explain an answer. I know that 47,908 is less than 47,918 because 4 is the same as 4, 7 is the same as 7, 9 is the same as 9. Ooh, 0 and 1. I would end that phrase, and I'm only going to start it because in the tens place, the number on the left has a 0, and the number on the right has a 1. 1 is greater than 0, which means that 47,918 is greater than 47,908. Ta-da! All right, that's pretty much it for that lesson. Lesson 5 is rounding. Rounding is super important, and I hope that you spent a lot of time on this topic, learning it and studying it and practicing it, because that's the only way to get better at it. So rounding, we think about our song. Find the place, look next door, 5 or more, you raise the score. 4 or less, you let it rest. Look to the right, put zeros inside. We will round it. Okay, you get the idea. So, all right. Looking at this one, I need to round this number to the nearest 10,000. So let's go ahead and find the place. Which digit is in the 10,000 spot? Well, let's start all the way to the right. Ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s. Slide that puppy over. I found the place. Now let's look next door. So move this where find the place is, and then we're going to look next door to the 3. What's next door? The 8 is next door. Now, our question is the 8 5 or more, or is it 4 or less? Well, 8 is 5 or more. So, look at where your arrow is pointing in step 2. Is it 5 or more or 4 or less? The 8 is 5 or more. Okay, if the 8 is 5 or more, that means that I need to make this 3 a 4. So I'm going to make the 3 a 4 and then look to the right and put zeros inside. So keep the 5, change the 3 to a 4, and then 3 zeros. And that's my answer. Lesson 6, which we just did on Monday of this week, not Monday, silly me, Tuesday of this week, is the cube strategy, and I hope you really enjoyed the song. Cube stands for circling the number, underlining the question, boxing the keywords, evaluating and drawing out a picture, and then solving and checking your answer. This is very helpful when it comes to word problems. Let's see. Okay. If I go through, I would circle each number that I see or hear when I read it. So a 7-digit number, 7 is a number. Sometimes our numbers are written as words. You need to be careful that you don't miss circling a number. So I would circle 7, 0, 6, 10, 8, 5s. Okay, then I would go through and I would underline my question. What is the number? I would box keywords. So 7 is talking about a 7-digit number, so I would box digit. I would box the ones place, 10,000s place, millions place. Then I would go through and I would evaluate. I would figure out how I should set this up. Well, I kind of already did the evaluating for you. I pulled out that this is a 7-digit number and I gave you 7 spaces, but let's double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Very good. So what I can do now is I can fill in these spots with the correct digits. If there's a 0 in the ones place, the ones place is here. A 6 is in the 10,000s place. That's here. There's an 8 in the millions place. That's after the second comma. And 5s go in each of the remaining places. So anything that's blank has a 5. Okay, when I look at my final number, I can read it as 8,565,550. So that is my final answer. That finishes out our review for this chapter. What you're going to do today is you're going to work on some review out of your book. So this is the online book, but you need to use your actual math book, and you need to complete the entire page that's shown on your screen right now, page 49. And let me go back to the slides for today. So do all of page 49. Then you're going to do 11, 13, 16, 17, 18, 22, 23, and 24. Those are all on the same page, so take a picture of that when you're done and attach it here, as well as 26, 28, and 29. Okay, that seems like a lot, but each question should not take you very long as you've been completing your lessons as we went through and asked questions. You should know all of this, so this should just be strictly a review. What I do want to make sure, though, is that everyone gets the vocabulary correct. So if you've made it this far in the video, you're going to get to work through your vocabulary page with me. So I would highly suggest at this point that you would get out your math book and turn to page 49, and we can do this together. So here's page 49. I'm going to Use the words in the word bank to complete each sentence. So this is all about the vocabulary of this chapter, and vocabulary is very, very important no matter what subject you're working on. So let's go ahead and go through this. Anytime that I see two numbers and that's all I see, there's no words, there's no directions, that means I'm probably supposed to compare them. So which one's bigger, or are they the same? Let's use our strategy. The first, or the greatest place value, I should say, is both 8s. So I can cross those out and move on to the next one. Next, I come to a 3 and a 2. 3 is bigger than 2. So in this case, I can say that 83,502 is greater than, I'm going to put this symbol because it's hard for me to write out words on here, but you guys need to write out this whole thing, is greater than 82,502. Okay, let's look at number 2. You can use a blank to compare numbers. Something I can use. Something that maybe looks like a picture. Well, the only thing in our word list that looks like a picture is a number line. Can I use a number line to compare numbers? I sure can. So I'm going to write NL for number line. You guys can write it out. This is going to be much easier because you have a paper book. Okay, there are 5 blank in the number 35,024. Let's see. 5. There's a 5 in the thousands spot. There are 5 thousands in the, is there a 1,000 up here? No, that's not a vocab word. There's 5. Let's count how many digits there are. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, there's 5 digits. That's a vocab word. Maybe I can get this written out. I'm trying. Race me, see if you can finish first. Whew, all right. That looks like a 5, it's an S. Digits. Okay, so we're done with that one. Let's go on to this one. Oh, I see 2 numbers again, so I'm comparing 392,903. 392,903. Well, that sounded the same. These 2 numbers are equal. So you would write out is equal to, equal sign. Write out the whole thing, don't be lazy. Okay, number 5, the blank of 32,052 is 32,052. This is a number written as words. What form is that, guys? Super easy. You should have word form. I'm going to write word because that's all I'll be able to fit here. You can write word form because you're using paper and pencil like smart people. Okay, we use that one. Okay, let's see. Number 6, the blank of 80, Mrs. Engelbrecht. 853,025 is 800,000 plus 50,000 plus 3,000 plus 20 plus 5. I see lots of plus signs. It looks like the number has been stretched. What's another way of saying that it's stretched? Ah, yes, very good. It expanded. Right, expanded form. Try to beat me. Expanded form. I think I'm only going to put expanded on this line. Yay! Okay, your handwriting better be better than mine. That's all I'm going to say about that. Expanded form. All right, number 7. Blank is the value given to a digit by its position in a number. Value given to its digit by its position. It's not less than. I don't see 2 numbers that I'm comparing. It's not standard form. Standard form is a normal way of writing numbers. It's either place value or period. What do you guys think? Period is the value given to a digit, or place value is the value given to a digit? Place value. That sounds better. Place value. I'm going to write PL. You guys, PL. I should write PV as a V. Skirt. Okay. PV, place value. You write out place value because you're better at writing than I am. Okay, number 8. The name given to each group of 3 digits on a place value chart. Okay, so we have the ones of this, the thousands of this, the millions of this. What have you guys seen on place value charts? You should have seen the ones period, the thousands period, and the 10,000s period. So a group of 3 digits is called a period. P-E-R-I-O-D. Very nice. I'm very nice. I'm giving you answers to your worksheet. Although I hope you're learning. The blank of 15,062 is 15,062. What is this, guys? How is this number written? Using which form? There's only one form left if you're using process of elimination. It's the normal way. Duh. Standard form. I'm going to write SF. Again, do not write SF. Please write out standard form. Thank you very much. And if all went well, this number should be less than this number. But let's double check. Okay, I got a 4 and a 4. That's the same. I got a 7 and a 7. That's the same. Now I have a 3 and a 4. Is 4 bigger than 3? Yeah, it is. So that means less than does fit there. Woohoo! We did it! So now you should have a free 10 points on this review if you work this out with me. And all you need to do is go back to your slides for today and work on 11, 13, 16, 17, 18, 22, 23, 24. And 26, 28, and 29, and attach your pictures here, but don't forget to also attach that you did page 49. All right? Happy studying, and I hope you guys do absolutely fantastic on your test tomorrow. Good luck.